Nanda Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Srila Gurudeva Hariom Tat Sat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Yuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. That's it. Just give me a second. I think it's stuck. Okay, so we shall be reciting from Canto 4, entitled The Creation of the Fourth Order. We're discussing from Chapter 1, entitled Genealogical Table of the Daughters of Manu, from Shloka 5. Please recite along with me. Anindye swagraham putryaha putram vitatarochisham swayam bhuvo mudayukto ruchirjagraha dakshinam. Anindye swagraham putryaha putram vitatarochisham swayam bhuvo mudayukto ruchirjagraha dakshinam. Anindye swagraham putryaha putram vitatarochisham swayam bhuvo mudayukto ruchirjagraha dakshinam. Word meanings: Anindye, brought to, Swagraham, home. Putryaha, born of the daughter. Putram, the son. Vitata, Rochisham, very powerful. Swayambhuvaha, the Manu named Swayambhuva. Muda, being very pleased. Yuktaha, with. Ruchihi, the great sage Ruchi. Jagraha, kept. Dakshinam, the daughter named Dakshina. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Swayambhuva Manu very gladly brought home the beautiful boy named Yagna, and Ruchi, his son-in-law, kept with him the daughter Dakshina. Purport by His Divine Grace. Swayambhuva Manu was very glad to see that his daughter Akuti had given birth to both a boy and a girl. He was afraid that he would take one son, and that because of this, his son-in-law, Ruchi, might be sorry. Thus, when he heard that a daughter was born along with the boy, he was very glad. Ruchi, according to his promise, returned his male child to Swayambhuva Manu and decided to keep the daughter, whose name was Dakshina. One of the Lord Vishnu's name is Yajna, because he's the master of the Vedas. Hare Krishna. The name Yajna comes from Yajusham Patihi, which means the Lord of all sacrifices. In the Yajur Veda, there are different ritualistic prescriptions for performing yajnas, and the beneficiary of such yajnas is the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. Therefore, it is stated in Bhagavad Gita 3.9, Yagnathat karmanaha. One should act, but okay. One should act, but one should perform one's prescribed duties only for the sake of Yajna or Vishnu. If one does not act for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or if one does not perform devotional service, then there will be reactions to all one's activities. It does not matter if the reaction is good or bad. If our activities are not dovetailed with the desire of the Supreme Lord, or if we do not act in Krishna consciousness, then we shall be responsible for the results of all our activities. There is always a reaction to every kind of action. But if actions are performed for yajna, there is no reaction. Thus, if one acts for the yajna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is not engaged in the material condition. For it is mentioned in the Vedas and also in Bhagavad Gita that the Vedas and the Vedic rituals are all meant for understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. From the very beginning, one should try to act in Krishna consciousness. That will free one from the reactions of material activities. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pal Dan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namah Acharya Padaya Nita Kripa Vrtayane Gaurkatha Damadaya Nagaragramatarini Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Deenabandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vangshakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhate girim nyaktapatamah vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to all Vaishnavas. So I'm getting a chance for Srimad Bhagavatam after October, after so long. So thank you for this chance on a beautiful, auspicious celebration of Varaha Dwadashi. So today, we are continuing hearing about the arrangement which Swayambhuva Manu did, and what Siksha Guru told us last time, that for people not having sons, how through their daughters, Srila Prabhupada explained, they can arrange, in case there is a son born of the daughter, they can arrange the father to have that son, the father's family. So today, we are in Shloka 5, where Swayambhuva Manu is very happy because he wanted, they say that he wanted an avatar of Lord. He knows Lord Yajna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he's very happy. Please remember, he has three daughters and 2 sons. So from Devahuti and Kardama, he has a grandson who's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that's Lord Kapila. From Akuti and Ruchi, there's Yajna. But this time, he brought the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his home. Another point of contention is, a lot of people ask, is that how is this possible? And it will come in the shlokas ahead, that Yajna and Dakshina, they're brother and sisters, and they came in, got married together. So please remember that the material laws, the bodily reactions of the karmas do not apply to the spiritual beings. Now they will say, oh, we are also souls, so we are also spiritual. Yeah, but we have forgotten that we are soul. We have forgotten our relationship with Lord Krishna and the spiritual world. We actually think we are this body and this is the be all end all of our existence. But when it comes to the Lord and his Parshads, this application of brother, sister in the material world, it does not apply. And for Lord, no material laws apply. Yes, he comes and takes different kind of Leela avatars or Manavantra avatars and Guna avatars to basically attract the living beings towards him, right, in all kinds of activities. So today we will be also glorifying Lord Varaha, Keshavadrita, Sukara Rupa, Lord Varaha. So the Lord does all kinds of activities in all forms of, in all living being forms, or the so-called species. So the various bodies. So different material laws do not apply to him. Another strong point which Srila Prabhupada made in the purport here is Yagnarthat Karmanaha. So the beautiful shloka. Yagnarthat karmano yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartam karma kaunteya muktaha sangha samachara. So this is in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, shloka 9, that he says that if you perform karmas prescribed by the Vedic injunctions, by the Vedic literatures, and offer it to Lord Vishnu, then, like doing as a duty, right, the material karmas, then you don't, I mean, you give up the reactions. You don't worry what happens. Lord Krishna is going to take care, right? But you continue doing your devotional activity. So here Prabhupada is, he's saying it does not, he says that in the purport, it does not matter if the reaction is good or bad. So devotee, and very, very hard to understand that, right? As sadhakas, we are going through a lot of material miseries, right? It can be Adi Devik, it can be Adi Bhautik, it can be Adi Atmik, mental misery, bodily misery, other living entities troubling us, cats outside our door troubling us, crying unnecessarily, ants, mosquitoes troubling us, right? Even plants. We eat plants. The other day, my Siksha Guru was having some green veggies and he got diarrhea. So different living entities can trouble us, right? So he's saying the sadhakas who are practicing to be a devotee will not be worried about the good or bad reaction. They will continue with their devotion. And the greatest example is our live Guru Parampara, His Holiness Gopala Krishna Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj. Even if they're sick, they're talking about Krishna, they're doing Vrindavan Parikrama, they're doing preaching activities. They're not talking, oh, my body, I'm so tired. When I'm tired, I tell everybody, please keep quiet, don't bother me. I will do Aarti later when I have the bodily strength. No. They do everything regulated. The difference between a sadhaka and the pure devotees is, at least the ones practicing in the material world, is it's regulated. They do everything for Krishna's happiness. Okay? So I won't speak much on Krishna consciousness and what Srila Prabhupada has made it pretty clear. Let's go to the shloka 6. Tam kamyanam bhagavan uvaha. Hare Krishna. Tam kamyanam bhagavan uvaha yajusham patihi. Tushtayam toshamapanno janayad dvadashatmajan. Synonyms: Tam, her, kamyanam, desiring, Bhagavan, the Lord, Uvaha, married, Yajusham, of all sacrifices, Patihi, master, Tushtayam, in his wife, who was very much pleased, Tosham, great pleasure, Apannaha, having obtained, Ajanayat, gave birth, Dvadasha, 12, Atmajan, sons. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Lord of the ritualistic performance of Yagna later married Dakshina, who was anxious to have the personality of Godhead as her husband. And in this wife, the Lord was also very much pleased to beget 12 children, purport by His Divine Grace. An ideal husband and wife are generally called Lakshmi Narayana, to compare them to the Lord and the goddess of fortune. For it is significant that Lakshmi Narayana are forever happy as husband and wife. A wife should always remain satisfied with her husband, and a husband should always remain satisfied with his wife. In the Chanakya Shloka, the moral instructions of Chanakya Pandita, it is said that if a husband and wife are always satisfied with one another, then the goddess of fortune automatically comes. In other words, where there is no disagreement between husband and wife, all material opulence is present and good children are born. Generally, according to the Vedic civilization, the wife is trained to be satisfied in all conditions, and the husband, according to the Vedic instruction, is required to please the wife with sufficient food, ornaments, and clothing. Then, if they are satisfied with their mutual dealings, good children are born. In this way, the entire world can become peaceful. But unfortunately, in this age of Kali, there are no ideal husbands and wives. Therefore, unwanted children are produced, and there is no peace and prosperity in the present day. So, husband and wife relationship and the ensuing family members, children, and then relatives, and then friends, and all that relation. So the peace is lacking in Kali Yuga. Why? This was one of the issue Arjuna had in Bhagavad Gita, that if I kill all the so-called Kshatriya who are leading their families, right? What will happen to the children? They'll become unwanted progenies because the women will be left alone, unguarded. The old people will be left unprotected. So in all cases, unwanted progeny. So how do we have in today's day and age, how do we have a peace formula? There is only one way. The chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra Sankirtana, Yajna, having that Yajna, sacrifice. Second is always doing devotional activities. Now, it is impossible for us to do 24/7, but at least if following our Guru Maharaj's instruction, it will give some semblance of peace, some semblance. Not 100% peace, because we're not 100% devotees. Here, Chanakya Pandit is always mentioned. Srila Prabhupada's favorite quotes, like he always mentions Chanakya Pandit, because his Artha Shastra, Nyaya Shastra, was very, very interesting. It was like he would mix the Dharma Shastra with Artha Shastra, and how he would deliver, how a person should live in a society. We'll talk about it in this future, in the further shlokas about this. Let's go to shloka 7. तोषः प्रतोषः सन्तोषो भद्रः शान्तिरिडस्पतिः इद्मः कुविर्विभुः स्वह्नः सुदेवो रोचनो द्विषट्. Synonyms: toshah, tosha; pratoshah, pratosha; santosha, santosha; bhadrah, bhadra; shantihi, shanti; idaspatihi, idaspati; idmah, idma; kavihi, kavi; vibhuhu, vibhu; swahnah, swahna; sudevah, sudeva; rochanah, rochana. Dvishat, 12. Translation by His Divine Grace. The 12 boys born of Yagna and Dakshina were named Tosha, Pratosha, Santosha, Bhadra, Shanti, Idaspati, Idma, Kavi, Vibhu, Swahna, Sudeva, and Rochana. Text 8, and after this we'll stop. Tushita namate deva asan swayam bhuvantare Marichi Mishra Rishayo Yagnaha Suraganeshwaraha. Synonyms: Tushitaha, the category of Tushitas; Nama, of the name; Te, all of them; Devaha, demigods; Asan, became; Swayambhuva, the name of the Manu; Antare, at that period; Marichi Mishraha, headed by Marichi; Rishayaha, great sages; Yagnaha, the incarnation of the Lord; Vishnu; Suragana Ishwaraha, the king of the demigods. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. During the time of Swayambhuva Manu, these sons all became demigods collectively, named the Tushitas. Marichi became the head of the 7 rishis, and Yagna became the king of the demigods, Indra. Purport by His Divine Grace. During the life of Swayambhuva Manu, 6 kinds of living entities were generated from the demigods, known as the Tushitas. From the sages headed by Marichi, and from the descendants of Yagna, king of the demigods, all of them expanded their progeny to observe the order of the Lord, to fill the universe with the living entities. These 6 kinds of living entities are known as Manus, Devas, Manuputras, Amshavataras, Sureshwaras, and Rishis. Yagna, being the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became the leader of the demigods, Indra. So now they're explaining 6 kinds of personalities in every Manavantara that comes in, especially Swayambhuva Manu starting. There are 14 Manavantaras in 12 hours or 1 day of Lord Brahma. So in each Manavantara, there are 6 types of personalities who have a specific job. Manavantareshu, so Manavantareshu Manu Putra. So first is the Manu, Swayambhuva Manu. In this case, in Swayambhuva Manuputra, Swayambhuva Manu. The first is the Manu. And the second one is the Manu Putra. In Swayambhuva Manu's case, it's Uttanapad and Priyavarta. The third is Manur Deva. Who are the Devas? So in this case, the head of the Deva was taken up by Lord Yagna itself. Then, so known as Sureshwaraha. So, headed the demigods, the Devas are known as the Tushitas, and the head, Sureshwara, the Indra, Yagna became himself. So usually you have Indra is separate and the Amsha Avatara separate. So the Amsha Avatara usually takes care of 5 types of personalities. And the 6th type is the Rishis, the 7 Rishis. So every Manavantra, you have the Manu first, then Devas, 3rd one is Manuputra, 4th one is Sureshwara, 5th one is Rishis, and the 6th one is Amshavatara or Manavantara. Amshavatara in form of Manavantara avatars. Okay. So in Swayambhava Manu's case, Lord Yagna became both the Sureshwara, the Indra, and as well as he is the Manavantara avatara. In our Manavantara, that is our where we are right now, Vaivaswata Manu. So our Manavantara avatar is Vamanadev, right? And the Sureshwara, the Indra is Purandara, the son of Kashyapa and Aditi. Okay. So in each of these 14 types of Manu, these 6 personalities are there. It is given in detail in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, beautifully explained. So basically future Manavantras are also explained, the 6 type of personalities. So why these personalities are required in every Manavantara is because, like Manu, he always ensures like the law, you know, the law of mankind, the Manu Smriti, right? He basically establishes the dharmas, the four Purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, what one should do. The demigods, the Sureshwara, right, along with your rishis, they're ensuring that the demigods and the Lord Indra, they are carrying out the orders of the Lord, right? And then they become they share the result of the sacrifice offered by the people. So for example, we're doing Hare Krishna Mahamantra Sankirtana Yajna. It has a result. The result is bhakti, right? And it is shared by the demigods. They come and participate, right? So Sureshwara also has another duty. He takes care of the 3 worlds, the Bhu, Bhuvar, Swaha, and he also is taking care, pouring rain. Now the rain, how important rain is, we come to know in Bhagavad Gita also. And then the rishis have a duty of establishing Sanatan Dharma every Chatur Yuga. I think we have discussed about these 6 personalities before also, sometime before. And then the Amsha Avatars, the Manavantara, obviously he has a job of basically giving duties to these 5 personalities. And then he has his own Leela also, Manavantara Leela. So, okay, time is up, so very quick. We will glorify Lord Varaha. So there are 2 types of Lord Varaha, Shweta Varaha and Neela Varaha. A lot of people even say Lala Varaha. In Mathura, near Vishrama Ghat, there is Shweta Varaha temple, if anyone's been there. We have also gone to the Lala Varaha temple, which is somewhere inside. They call it Neel Varaha also. So the particular episode with Hiranyaksh is during Chakshusha Manavantara, the 6th Manu. So Hiranyaksh, we've already finished the 3rd canto, so we know in chapters 18 and 19. Hiranyaksh was a very demonic personality. He completely wanted to sense gratify. So what he had done was completely drilled the daylights of the earth just to take out gold. Hiranyaksh means he's crazy about gold. He actually made earth nearly so hollow that earth became imbalanced. And Mother Earth, she fell into the Garbhodaka ocean. Now, to take the earth out and to basically vanquish this demonic Hiranyaksha, obviously the Devas went to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma prays to Lord Vishnu. And then from Lord Brahma's nose comes out Varaha Desha. So Varaha Dev is very, very beautiful. It is not like the boar, the animal boar who lives in the mud, in the dirt, right? He's actually a beautiful representation of that animal. So he's so beautiful and fragrant, it does not signify or is not equivalent to this material world animal boar. But what he wanted to do, Leela, was he could have just flicked his finger and got the earth out of Garbhodaka ocean. But to do Leela so that people can glorify him in different, and they can actually reminisce, remember, and relish the pastimes of Lord in different forms, he took a boar form, and in his tusk, he took out, or he plucked out the Mother Earth from Garbhodaka to her orbital position. So when she was back there, so Hiranyaksh got very badly, very, very angry, and they had a fierce battle. Now, something which Lord Krishna loves enjoying, or Lord Vishnu loves enjoying, is a rasa called Veera Rasa. So to display the Veera Rasa, it is said that he can only fight with devotees, because a material personality like us cannot even come to the level of Hiranyaksh level, the demonic powers. So poor Jai Vijaya had to fall down and come in the demonic as Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu, and then play with the Lord. So Lord wanted to play in an inimical format. So here he fought a fierce battle with Hiranyaksh. He he nearly defeated him by, the gada. They have the mace in their hand. He took out, after the fierce battle, the mace was taken out of Hiranyaksh's hand. And then Hiranyaksh was shocked. And then Lord says, okay, you want to fight here, take the mace back. But Hiranyaksh had such high false ego that he says, forget it. I'm not taking anything you give me, because you've hurt my false ego. So he says no. Then he takes out his trident and he tries to beat up Lord Varaha, or defeat him. But then Lord Varaha was not able. He was not able to vanquish Lord Varaha. So then what he did, he used his Mayavi Shakti. He started cheating. First, he was following the rules of the battle, but now he came to the cheating format. He uses Mayavi Shakti, becoming dark and using all those, what demons do, right? When they want to basically trouble the Brahmanas and all, when they're doing sacrifices, from the sky, they rain what? All excretory substances. The bad substances. So which which obviously it's called the Yagya Bhanga. So this guy was started raining these this materially bad stuff. So what happened? Lord said, okay, you're trying to cheat in a battle. Fine. So Lord Sudarshana comes out. So Lord Sudarshana, when he saw, though he started like, okay, he could not defeat Sudarshana. So then Lord Brahma came, so I'm cutting the story short. Lord Brahma came and interfered, and he says, dearest Lord, it is time for the twilight zone. It's coming into the twilight hour. And it is said that when twilight hour comes, the demons get more, stronger. So because we don't want him to win, Lord Brahma actually got worried that this guy is going to defeat the Lord. So he says, we don't want him to win, so please defeat this fellow. So Lord Vishnu says, okay, let's end it. So all he did was touch him in the below his ears, just touch. Jhapad bhi nahi diya, right? Not even whack, just like sort of like touch like this. And this fellow, this great demon, this powerful demon, he got smashed. He died just with the touch of the Lord, which they call the smash. He felt it was like a huge, whack on his body. So he was basically killed And in this way, Lord Varadev is basically glorified. Like the last time Siksha Guru was saying, Lord Narsimhadev, he was an emergency incarnation coming from the pillar. Lord Varadev, he comes out and he just starts, he gets into action. So not an emergency, it was a prayer, but he didn't go through all that Leela which Lord goes through, Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, right? Even Vamanadev, he was a small boy, Pauganda, the Balya, Pauganda, Kaishora, and all that levels of age he doesn't go through. He's just directly getting into action, and that is his Leela. So this is what's special. Namaha Kamala Netraya. Namaha Kamala Malini. Namaha Kamala Padaya. Namaste Kamaleshana. So he's so beautiful. His eyes are not like bows, they're like lotus eyes. Even his fingers are like so-called hooves that are supposed to represent, they're also beautiful. So someone has done a painting, some ISKCON devotee has done a painting of Lord Varaha. So it's so beautiful, it's so sweet to look at the Lord compared to the animalistic version that we see here in the material world. So this is a short glorification from my side on Lord Varadev. I'll end the class here. So if anyone else wants to glorify Lord Varaha, you may please. Please come. So Grantharaj, Srimad Bhagavatam class.
I know today, that's why Vishnu Priya Mataji would be Jai Sudarsana, Jai Sudarsana. Sri Priya Sudarsana, very nicely, sweet and
Jai Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra,
Sudarsana.
Hi, boss. So anybody who wants to glorify Lord Varaha?
Do you want to hear another story of Lord Varaha?
Yes, please.
How many of you like to hear another story of Lord Varaha? Only one? 2? 3? Only 3 people. Only 3 people have to tell such a nice story.
Prabhuji, everyone wants to hear. 4.
4? Oh, only 4. Okay, now it becomes Sadrupuja, is all right. So, I'll speak in English. The Swet Varaha and the Red Varaha is one of the oldest self-manifested deity of Varaha Bhagwan, exists in Mathura. Mathura both, but this is a self-existing. The deity also called Lal Varaha because the deity is in red color. According to Adi Purana, the story of the deity is that Kapila Muni conceived of this deity of Varaha in his mind, and at once it manifested itself before him. He was just thinking, how Lord Varaha must have come and things like that, He was just imagining, and all of a sudden the deity came in front of him. Kapila Muni gave this deity to Lord Indra to worship his deity in his kingdom of Amravati. In the Treta Yuga, when Ravana conquered Indra kingdom, Ravana took the Adivara deity to his capital, Sri Lanka. The deity you are talking with in Mathura. I don't know how many of you have seen, but I was fortunate to see that, Lal Varaha. When Lord Rama killed Ravana and installed Vibhishana as the king of Lanka, Vibhishana offered everything to Lord Rama. So it is all yours. But Lord Rama requested, if it pleases him, to give him the deity of the Lal Varaha. And the Lal Varaha, the deity, came to Ayodhya. When Lord came, it brought back to Ayodhya. And Lord Rama worshipped this deity for 110 years. But when Satrughna wanted to fight the demon in Mathura and all, because Jarasandha and his son and so many kind of people were there, So he took the deity for his protection. He took the Lal Varaha and installed that deity in Mathura, and he became victorious. So the deity still exists in Mathura, which has been conceived by Lord Kapila again in Satya Yuga. So this is a new kind of story. I'm telling you from Adi Varaha Purana. So Varaha Bhagavan ki Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada
Jai.
ki
Jai.
Hare
But it's
Krishna.
also said, it is also said that, where Lord Varaha picked up, there's a saying, where they picked up the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean, where he touched the earth, right? That point is actually called Mathura. So interesting, right? So that's another beautiful. Anyone else, any other devotees want to glorify? A good chance. Please don't miss the chance to glorify the Lord in these special days. Be ready to glorify Lord Nityananda tomorrow. Siksha Guru will glorify, but everybody needs to glorify. So please also be ready for that. Anybody?